Hi everybody, I'm going to show you how I attach my appliques, and this can be fabric appliques or paper appliques with Heat and Bond. This is Heat and Bond Ultra Hold and a laminator. Heat and Bond is an iron-on adhesive, and it has a bumpy side and a paper side. So I've pre-cut some squares here. And this is fabric, and I'm going to put this on the bumpy side, the wrong side on the bumpy side of the Heat and Bond. And then I have paper. This is just cardstock. And I'm going to place the wrong side on the bumpy side of the Heat and Bond. And then I have a carrier sheet, which is just a piece of computer paper, fold it in half. And I'm going to put both of these in the carrier sheet. And then I'm going to fold it over, and now I'm going to put this through the laminator, and the laminator's been heating up for a while, and it's also on its highest setting, which is 5. And I'm just going to place that in the laminator and let it come through. This is a fantastic way to attach appliques that you've cut out from a die or you've pre-cut, pre-bought, and they're already pre-cut. And this is a good way to attach them to your projects. And you don't even have to use an iron. Because we all know how much we hate ironing. And then it's almost through. And then I'm going to send it through again. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to send it through the laminator one more time, and that's just so it gets adhered good to whatever you put in the carrier sheet. And then I'm going to use this flower die to cut out my shape. It's always easier to cut fabric after it has the Heat and Bond on it. Okay. And some of it's going to stick to the paper, especially if you didn't make a perfect square, that's okay. You just peel it off. Find an edge. And this is the fabric one. And here's the paper. Now I'm going to send that through my Sizzix. I'm just going to trim this part off so it doesn't stick to the Sizzix. And I'm going to lay my die. I'll do the paper one first. I'm going to make my sandwich. And then I'm going to send it through my little Sizzix. And I'm going to do the same. See, it cut out real nice. I'm going to do the same with the fabric piece. I'm just going to trim off this extra Heat and Bond right here so it doesn't stick to my Sizzix machine. Got my sandwich. I'm going to send it through. Oops, sorry. And this is the fabric flower, so I'll use that first. And then you just peel the paper off the back. And let's say I wanted to put this onto fabric. I have a piece of fabric, and I'm just going to put it where I want it. And then I'm going to use a clean carrier sheet. Always use a clean carrier sheet. You don't want the old one with the Heat and Bond that's stuck to it. And then, let's see, Then I'm going to stick this in the carrier sheet. And now I'm going to send that through the laminator. This is a great quilting trick when you have to do a lot of appliques on quilt squares. And if your square is bigger than the paper, you don't fold the paper over, you just use 2 pieces of paper. Sandwich it in between 2 pieces of paper. And again, I'm going to flip it over and send it through again. Because I hate digging out my iron and my ironing board. I'd rather do it this way. Trying to hurry it along. That's probably not a good idea. Okay. And there is my fabric flower, and it's permanently attached to my fabric. Now you can do the same with the paper. Yeah, you can just pretend this is a card and you wanted to make like some type of scene on it, and you had a whole bunch of appliques. That's fine. And what you can do is, so they don't slide around, I just take a little piece of double stick tape, just the tiniest piece, and then I put it on there, and then it holds. Well, I transfer it over to the laminator. And then I'm going to stick that through. And this one I won't run through twice. You really should run it through twice, but just for time reasons, I'm not going to run it through twice. I'll just run it through once. And here it comes. And then you can even do the fabric appliques. You can put those on paper. Yeah, I have another one I'll show you. But there's my paper applique stuck to the paper. And like I said, you'd run it through twice. And here is the fabric flower. And then I can stick, I can't see. There we go. Take the paper back off and the fabric flower, and then run it through the laminator. Oh, it went in crooked. That's okay. And then again, once this comes out, I'd flip it over and I'd run it through again. And you really need to have a laminator that has more than one setting. Like this one has a 3 and a 5. And I always use the 5 because that's for thicker paper. And I think it runs through slower and it heats up more. I'm not quite sure. But there is my fabric applique on paper, and my paper applique on paper, and my fabric applique on fabric. So that's how I use heat and bond in a laminator to attach to fabric or paper. Thanks for watching. Bye.